Hello, my name is Gergana Denichina. I am certified NeuroGraphica instructor, and this module is connected to the Social Entrepreneurship module in our project LadyLeader Generations. You can read more about the project and the method in the description below the video. I would recommend first exploring all the materials from the Social Entrepreneurship module before starting to draw this model. So, let's begin. In order to create a sustainable model of social entrepreneurship, or even to start a simple social initiative, it is important to have a clear idea of what you would like to change in your community. Who could help you? How could this change happen? This is why we'll begin with a short tuning in exercise. And when I say start, begin writing words. Any words that come to your mind connected to your idea of social change. We'll write words for 2 minutes in order to tune our minds to the topic. Ready? Start. And stop. Now, take a good look at the words you wrote. Were there any repeated words? What kind of words dominate? Are they nouns, verbs, adjectives? Do they describe movement, emotions, actions? And ask yourself here, how does this social problem touch me personally? Who do I care about? What do I want to change in my community? What need I do see? Now we begin the drawing process. Now please place your paper vertically. We'll use the basic Neuro-tree algorithm from NeuroGraphica. And we begin with the roots. The lower part of the page, approximately 1/3 of the sheet. Start drawing circles. The first circle represents your values. Which of my values are at the foundation of this idea for social change? The second circle answers the question, why is this topic important to me? What does this topic give to me personally? Let the third circle answer the question, what nourishes me? You may number your circles and write the meanings on the side of the paper where you wrote your words, or you can write directly inside the circles. The fourth question is, what need do I see in my community? Your circles may be in completely different places, different sizes, different forms even. Draw intuitively. My fifth circle will represent my personal strength. What strength do I have? For example, mine turns out to be quite large. I cannot even fully define it yet, but it is my personal strength and experience. What inner resources do I already have? Actually, I have a lot of resources. And all of these forms are the foundation of my idea for social change. Take a look at your own drawing and reflect on your answers. In my case, I can see that maybe my strength and my resources are even stronger than my values at this moment. They seem to be my main support for the desire to create social change. For me, at least for now, this social initiative is connected to the project from the LadyLeader group. And now we begin drawing neural lines, the lines of change, moving from the bottom of the page upward. This is the growth of our initiative. The lines may cross, they may move parallel to one another, and eventually they will intersect. Try to connect every circle in the lower part with at least one line going upward. Draw as many lines as you feel are necessary for your initiative. As they move upward, these lines simultaneously create the trunk of the tree, the upward direction, and the branches. And while drawing them, try to feel this growth in your body. Now, slowly begin rounding. Start rounding wherever it feels most natural. You already know how rounding works. Every intersection is rounded. You may notice where you begin rounding first. Now I begin from this area here. Maybe this is my first step, or maybe this is my unconscious driving for colors. I don't know. For each of you, it will probably be different. Let us spend now a few minutes rounding. And meanwhile, I'll ask you some questions to reflect on while rounding. And throughout the whole process, do not forget the 4 points of attention. The first is thoughts. What are we thinking about while drawing? The second are the emotions, the feelings. The third is body sensations. And the fourth is the meanings or visions, what we imagine and visualize. Observe yourself, feel your body, and take notes if you wish. Now let's move to the questions. How can the thing I care about in my community become something real through my actions? Something measurable, something that truly works. What wants to grow from these roots? And what is the natural direction of my initiative? Upward, sideways, somewhere unexpected maybe? And what actions are beginning to appear here? Real actions. What am I actually starting to do? And at this point, we also begin thinking more concretely about the results that we'll soon draw. Start thinking about them already while rounding along the trunk of the tree. The trunk represents the present moment. What kinds of formats, what services, what products, meetings, or spaces might appear in order to solve the problem in my community. And to answer the need that I identified. In my own case, I began thinking that many more projects may grow from this one. Through our meetings and trainings across the country and across Europe. Small micro initiatives began appearing from many inspired people who realize that change does not need to be huge or loud. Even a small contribution can be meaningful. It could simply mean organizing neighbors to clean a shared space, or plant flowers, or create a small garden in spring. It could also become something bigger, perhaps cooperation with local administration, creating a playground, organizing community events, giving meaning and activation to older people in the neighborhood or village. Something that gives people a sense of meaning. It may be something for joy and connection. Or you might even create a real social enterprise. Dance club, a storytelling club, a catering company. Anything is possible. It, it depends on the needs of your community and your own skills and resources. And now shift your attention more toward your body and your sensations. Where do you feel your initiative is the strongest? What is its strength? Can you name it? And what is the strength of your initiative? For me, the strength is in inspiring other people to create something of their own, even something small. And I can already see how this has been working for 5 years now. We have been developing the LadyLeader initiative in different countries across Europe. There may also be places where resistance appears. Sometimes resistance can be felt physically in the body. Where is the resistance? What causes it? Is it lack of resources or fear of doing something new? Or maybe the expectation that everything must be huge and extraordinary. Actually, it may be something very small and simple. Explore this for yourself. Do you feel resistance? Where is it? What is it connected to? And while speaking about resistance, notice where you are in your drawing. Are you rounding in the trunk, in the roots, somewhere else? This matters. And is there something unexpected appearing? Something you had not thought about before? If you have not finished rounding yet, you can continue later. Now let us move towards our desired results, toward the real change, toward the impact and value of this social initiative. In the upper part, between the branches, begin drawing circles again. Let your first circle represent the change you want to see. What exactly is this change? What specifically will happen? What specifically will improve? For whom? And while drawing, you may continue rounding wherever the results intersect with the branches. You can do this simultaneously. And I'll continue speaking. In the next circle, what exactly will change for the people in my community? How will they feel? What new opportunity or benefit will they receive? While drawing, try to imagine these people very specifically. Who are they? When we create social initiatives or social enterprises, we create them for real people, not people in general. What is the real value of your initiative? If you already have something concrete in mind, you may draw it directly. For example, in our current project, we are creating a live board game inspired by the live game Lila. You may draw the game itself, the cards, the participants, the facilitators in different countries. These are my examples. And your examples belong to your own idea and initiative. And observe your body. How do you feel while drawing these results? Does it bring joy, satisfaction, something else? Now another result. And the question here is, what problem in my community will become easier or be solved through this initiative or project or social enterprise? Now, let us draw a circle for the new opportunities that appear because of this project. Oh, for me, they turned out to be very large. Draw your circles in the size and position that feels right for you. Number 11, apparently these opportunities are very large and important for me. Even if I cannot yet clearly define them, I can feel that they are large and may continue growing in the future. Perhaps the opportunities will become clearer later. Oh, try rounding and reflecting. What opportunities do you see appearing as a result of this change? And later you can also analyze which results intersect with one another and which remain separate. And now, what will success look like? Draw success. Mine is very large, even larger than the opportunities. This is the success of my initiative. How large is the success of your initiatives? And most importantly, what does success actually mean to you? For some people, it may mean visibility, and for others, simply that people feel happier and more connected. For each of us, it's different. We'll explore what success means for you. And if one day you create something sustainable that can continue existing even without you and continue serving the community, then we are already speaking about a larger social enterprise. But again, it may begin from something very, very small. Every small step matters. Every small contribution matters. And all of it helps create a more meaningful world. And finally, what will be the effects of your community? Draw one more figure for the effect. If your paper feels too small, imagine that this sheet is only part of a much larger picture. The impact may be much bigger than the space of this page. Feel it intuitively. And if you already drew it small but now want to make it bigger, simply make it bigger. As you enlarge it on the paper, you also begin allowing yourself to imagine a greater impact. How do you feel this impact in your body? You can write down your emotions, your impressions. Later, they will be very valuable to revisit. And you may continue rounding later as well. Now we are moving to the coloring part. Use several colors, like 4, 5, 6, however many feel right to you. Choose your pencils and begin coloring. The only rule is to color at least 2 neighboring elements in the same color. You may color circles or flows of movement, however it feels natural. And while coloring, continue observing yourself and your drawing. Where do you begin coloring? How do you move? Does it feel easy, pleasant? Everything can later become meaningful for interpretation. For example, I have colored the success of the initiative in pink, but I do not experience this as my personal success. I experience it as the success of our collective work with my colleagues from different countries, our partners, and all the people who joined and continue joining the Lady Leader initiative. And for me, this is a huge success. Not personal success in the sense of I did this, because I'm only one small part of a much larger whole. And inside my body, I feel expansion and satisfaction and hope that this initiative will continue living its own life. All materials we create are freely accessible and will remain freely accessible forever. Anyone who wishes can use them. And remember that white is also color. Some spaces may remain uncolored. White, and these too can be meaningful for us. Where is there more life and energy in your initiative? Where is there more depth in your initiative? Where is there calmness? How does your initiative feel now that it is becoming integrated and colorful and complete? You can always return later, strengthen certain areas, add more color, or make something more alive according to your own feeling. And here in the background, what exists in the background? If some parts of the background feel empty, perhaps there are still resources around you that you do not yet consciously notice. Maybe there are opportunities or people willing to support the initiative. For me, the whole field feels yellow. sunny and open and full of light. Now I will add several more lines into this background when I finish with the coloring. These lines that I'm adding now connect my initiative even more with the outside world, with people, possibilities, resources. And of course, afterward, we round all the new corners again. And I recommend you that if something remains unrounded at the end, you return and complete it. And now we move to the next step, the filled lines. We draw the filled lines with a thicker marker, or with the same marker by repeating the line several times. These are 2 or 3 lines moving through the entire composition from the bottom to top, filling it with energy. And ask yourself, where does the energy of this initiative come from? And what moves me forward? And what supports this initiative? Support what resources, what partners, what belief inside me supports the initiative. Can you already feel this energy in your body? My third line will represent the strength. Where do I want to bring more strength into my community? Yes, for me, 3 lines are enough right now. Too much energy would feel overwhelming. And now, once again, around all intersections. Give yourself a few minutes for finalizing the rounding. Later, you may return to it again. Now we take the thick marker again and create the fixation. Which part of my drawing, which part of my initiative wants to become stronger? What is most important for me? What is the real first step? Or which result or resource is key? Or what do I want to remember? Look at your drawing and feel where your attention goes. What wants to become bigger, stronger? For me, it is this large figure that connects all the results together. Make it bold and visible. For you, it may be a very small and concrete result or one of the resources. For each of us, it will be different. I simply realize that I still cannot fully understand the scale of this initiative. And it is much larger than we originally imagined. My inner feeling is that it will continue growing. Well, perhaps one day we'll even create an official Lady Leader school. We'll see how it develops. But this is the feeling I have now, and this is what I draw as my fixation today. This is my model, Living Impact. And I hope you managed to draw your own initiative and discover either your first step or the overall impact and meaning it carries for you. Good luck with your initiative, and I would be very happy if you share it with us. LadyLeader Generations is our project. Thank you for being with me.